I am 26, recently found out my stepfather M48, who just married my mother 2 years ago, is currently having a sexual relationship with my wife of 4 years F28 behind my back and has been since late summer or maybe even before that. What am I supposed to do? Should I tell my mother? I am sorry if this is a little much. I've been sitting in my car for a few hours. Sorry for errors, I am on mobile. My wife and I have been married for 4 years. We argue sometimes over little things, but I love her with all my heart. There's never been anything wrong until now. I thought we were happy. I always treated her right and listened to her. I took her out whenever she wanted and studied with her. She doesn't work because she's getting her degree right now. So I gladly pay for everything and work overtime constantly because I wanted her to be great. She goes to classes nearly full time and spends the rest of her time home or her school library. I am not close to my mother at all, but I see her from time to time. Recently we've been trying to reconnect, but she's just really not a good person. She was horrible to me growing up, but I've tried to forgive her for her personality and actions. She has a lot of bad habits and had 2 failed marriages with really shitty dudes. She recently got remarried to another man 2 years ago. Let's call him X. My mother invites me and my wife, and it's the first time they all meet. Probably 4th time I've met him since they married fairly quickly. He seemed okay, just really didn't like his vibe too much. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt because at the end of the day it's her life, not mine, and we aren't close. Last year, X asks for help remodeling my mother's house for the day. My wife suggests we stay for the week and make it a bonding thing. I agreed. I thought we could all do things together, but we ended up breaking into little teams. X and my wife really hit it off, and I am not very good with construction renovation related things. I ended up going out with my mother a few times to eat in an attempt to bond with her. It was weird, but we tried. My wife stayed behind and helped X remodel. Her family is really involved in the construction engineering world, so she knew much more than I about how to help fix the house up. They seemed to really be close that week, aka sharing jokes and laughing a lot when I wasn't around, and super animated conversations, but I didn't think much of it because I assumed she was just being nice to my new stepfather. I trusted my wife. She started going back over to my mother's house to help X out afterwards. They live almost an hour away, so it's out of the way. I noticed when she'd be coming home way later than normal and decide to take the train instead of me pick her up. She kept saying library at first before she admitted to going there to help renovate, since I wasn't much help in terms of helping my mom fix up the place. It was like once or twice a week. This started happening early this year, when the house was finished late spring. They kept hanging out, which I didn't mind. I guess that makes me stupid. When her classes ended in summer, we stopped spending as much time together, but she made nothing seem wrong. She seemed happy. Our sex life was the same. We were trying for a baby. Everything was good, even communication. I tried to go with her to my mom's place, but she was usually with her friends when she wasn't home, and I didn't really like X's humor mannerisms. I didn't mind. I worked a lot and liked to be alone sometimes. A few weeks ago she got home late again and went to shower. I always joked that she'd use up all the city's water with how long she showered. She was in there a bit. Probably 1 a.m. when her phone pings and vibrates. It does this like 4 or 5 times in a few minutes. I didn't want to invade her privacy, but that's very abnormal. I tapped her screen to see what it was and I recognized the number. It was X's. He sent multiple MMS messages with his face and nude pics of himself. There were replies from her with nude photos that were recent. Just a lot of words I haven't processed yet. I took an extended screenshot of it. Took a few minutes. And mailed it to myself and put the message on unread so she wouldn't know I saw it. I really wish I didn't. I really would have honestly just not have known and kept everything perfect. There are months of texts. Blocks of text and photos and heart emojis. I took a few days off work the following morning and flew down to see an old friend lives in the Midwest. He's hooking me up with a month-to-month studio, no questions asked, since we don't talk much anymore. She doesn't know I am leaving in Jan, which is when our lease is up. I told her it was a trip for work and she just smiled and told me to have fun and she'd miss me. I came back and she didn't seem any different. Our anniversary is the day before Christmas Eve. I haven't told my mother. Not sure how or if I want to. I haven't told anyone except you. Reddit. I want to get out of here and be alone and think. It's been a while, but I still haven't had the heart to go through all of the texts and photos. I feel like reading it all would make it all worse for me. I already feel broken and empty. I left my friends behind for her and started a life with her. I thought she was happy. We have been trying to get pregnant slightly before and around the time I found out, and we're supposed to go check in with the docs after the holidays. I need some time to think and I need to know how to fix this. With my wife. How do I tell my mother? I love my wife with everything, she's all I have. I gave her everything these last 4+ years. I can't just divorce. I am not going to follow in my mother's footsteps. I know it all seems outrageous given he's married to my mother, but I don't have anyone else to talk to. I was supposed to be home 5 hours ago, but I don't think I can lay next to her anymore. I've been forcing myself to try and get over it and hope it just goes away, and it makes me feel more and more disgusted with myself. I am probably gonna sleep in my car tonight. She's already called me 3 times and I am just exhausted emotionally. It hurts ignoring her calls. I'll try to check back for any answers later tomorrow if I have the time. I am sorry if this post was a waste of your time, but I hope you have advice. Too long didn't read. My wife is having a sexual relationship with my mother's new husband, and I want to know how to stop it and fix my marriage somehow. Before you do anything, contact a competent divorce lawyer. Do not tell your mom just yet. Don't know, let it be known that you know. Gather all the evidence you can. Stay calm and pretend everything is fine until you speak with a lawyer. I say this because she could file for divorce first and you might have to pay alimony since you've been supporting her for a while. Find out your options because I am pretty sure this marriage is over. A one night stand is 100% different from months of cheating. I am sorry. Good luck and keep us updated. That's all I got. Don't alert her. Get a lawyer. Ask him how best to proceed. Once he gives you the go, boot her ass out of the house. Tell your mom. And fly off to your place. Thank your lucky stars that you didn't get her pregnant. Contemplate how vile of a person she must be to duck your stepfather while draining your bank account and living in your house. If you ever feel nostalgic about the relationship, you never knew her. The person you imagined never existed. If you understandably can't stand to be around her without giving away that you know, maybe take another business trip to a motel for a few days while you get things rolling. You never knew her. The person you imagined never existed is one of the most terrifying things I could imagine happening to me. Second story. My 29 female boyfriend, 27 male forced anal on me. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 7 months. We're currently living together for the past 2 months. Edited this part due to people misunderstanding. And we're an admittedly kinky couple. So abuse is part of our sex routine. We are always safe about what we do. And have a safe word and everything. Last night, he came home from the pub drunk at maybe 2 a.m. I was busy the next day so I slept early and didn't wait for him to come back home. When he walked into our room, he slammed the door open, took off his clothes, and jumped on top of me. He said he wanted to have sex, and I told him that I am too tired to have sex. So he said fine and got up to go to the bathroom. Minutes later, I heard him come back into the room grunting. He's a relatively big guy. He climbed into our sheets fully naked, and started playing with my body. I was tired, but it felt nice so I didn't stop him. Then he whispered in my ear, "Wanna try anal?" But I didn't hear him properly, so I just said sure, just make it quick. He then tried to go in, with just his saliva, too dry for even the regular. When I felt it, I immediately told him to stop, and that he was going for the wrong hole. He didn't listen and continued anyway. He plunged himself deeper and it was extremely painful. I screamed our safe word BN 5 times and he didn't respond. He just kept going while I was suffering. He covered my mouth to muffle my screaming, and the pain was so intense, I passed out. When I woke up in the morning, he was gone, and when I got up, I saw blood on our sheets. I was really scared. So I canceled my plans and headed straight to the hospital in a maxi pad. After going to the emergency room and doing some tests, it turns out his forceful entrance caused a fissure in my anus. The doctor said I would have to use some medication and that, if the fissure hadn't healed in 4 or 5 weeks, I would have to get surgery. I just got out of the hospital and I'm going back home soon. I haven't seen my boyfriend or spoken to him since yesterday. I don't know where he is nor do I want to. And I honestly don't know how I'm going to deal with him. What do you think I should do? Please help me deal with this. Edit 331. Hey everyone. I just want to quickly tell everyone that I am alright and thankfully, my now ex-boyfriend has been dealt with appropriately. I am currently with my mother, and will hopefully get out of her hair once my old apartment gets reset up. I never gave the apartment away since my sister wanted to move in, but her taking longer than expected somehow worked in my favor. Thank you everyone who supported me throughout this. I think I am over it and it's just a thing that happened, I guess. Edit 2 people. I am gonna make an update in a few days when there's enough news to bring home. Edit hey everyone. Thank you all so much for the wonderful comments. I've been packing for the past 2 hours to go to my mom's. Thankfully he still hasn't come back. If he ran away, it's wishful thinking on his end. I talked to my dad, who is an ex-cop, and he knows some people that would help with my situation. I honestly can't believe what he did to me. Even till now. It was so impulsive of him. He was never like this. Regardless, I am too disgusted by the thought of him right now. I consider myself to be a resilient person and can brush this off the experience, not the problem itself. It's just that I am still shocked by what happened, and the fact that it did. I'll reply to some of you as soon as I am settled at my mom's. I just want to mention that I got a message from someone on here telling me that I should have expected it. Disappointed when I read that. And it's as simple as that. Drunk or not, he violated all trust. And despite you using your safe word multiple times, he carried on. He raped you, and this is completely unacceptable. You were hurt so badly that you had to go to hospital. You are well within your rights to go straight to the police and report it, but I know that can be psychologically difficult to do. I hope you do recover soon, both physically and mentally. Make sure you feel safe when you see him next too. Even if you have to have someone else with you for support. But personally I would get my things and leave next time, it could be far worse. Hopefully next I see him is in cuffs, and not in the kinky way. Third story. My fiance took my birth control pills and stabbed holes into condoms to try and get me pregnant. I'm in my late 20s and I got engaged for my fiance 29 who I've been with for 9 years. Our relationship has never really been tested and we get on really well. But recently he brought up that he wants kids. I said no, I'm not ready and probably won't be for a few years. He got really mad and argued with me for a solid 10 minutes. I just moved on from it and didn't give it a second thought. A week later I couldn't find my birth control pills. They are usually in the bathroom cupboard, but I couldn't find them anywhere. Later that night he wanted to have sex. I said I couldn't find my because pills, and he said it's alright, he'll use a condom. I suppose that was alright, so he went and got one from the bathroom. For the next few weeks we just used a condom and I didn't take the pill. In hindsight I should have got more when I couldn't find the original pack, but I couldn't be bothered, my fault. On a few occasions we were having sex, I noticed the condom was split. He clearly noticed all times and didn't say anything, so I said stop. The next day I was putting the recycling in the trash. As I was putting it in I seen my pills at the bottom. I instantly knew he had binned them. He knows I deal with the trash, so why would he be so stupid to just put them in recycling? It all made sense, so I confronted him about the pills and condoms and he couldn't answer me. He just kept walking away. I was so mad at him. It's not right. You can't just force someone to be pregnant just because you want a baby. Does he have to carry it for 9 months? I haven't been talking to him. I'm so annoyed. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.